All right. Okay, this is very clear what this message is trying to say. All right, so your underlying energy is the Two of Wands. Dang, wow. And underneath that, you have the Five of Cups. Now, I feel like you guys have definitely are trying to overcome some pains, some things that may have been missing in a relationship or lost. But this is ultimately about making a decision about what you want to do, because ultimately there's nothing really going on right now. Not really. I think there's a lot of patience that's needed, but I think also you're waiting for, you're waiting for something to come in. But in the meantime, what do you really want out of this relationship? Because ultimately, right, it doesn't really matter if the person is in your life, person is our way right now. Whatever you're doing right now is important because it's going to reflect on how you carry that out in your, through the relationship, through your life, through your process of existence here. Now, you guys are definitely stuck at a crossroads here, but not necessarily stuck. But you no longer can move forward with how things have been going on, with how things have been moving. And that's not a bad thing. I think this is about changing of courses of action, right? You're changing the course of action right at this moment. And that is in regards to the people that you meet or the person that you're with right now. Now, this could have been that you met someone new, or this could be that you're already in an established relationship. But this sort of situation, the heart of your reading is the Two of Cups, where there is, another person that's involved here. Right? This is about the interactions with others. It's about you and another person. This has to be romantic. It could be platonic. It could be a coworker that you're dealing with. It could be a family member. But I feel like this has to do with perhaps a relationship because this is a love reading. But like I said, love doesn't have to limit itself to just romance, as you know. But this is in regards to who you've met or who you are in a relationship with. But it's going to require some sort of not just patience, but handling of your own energy, if that makes sense. Now, at the same time, I know that there may be some things that you're also trying to wait for things, for stuff to happen. Like I think you're trying to there's a desire to have some sort of dream, some sort of wish that you believe is practically impossible to obtain. Right? I think that in some level of you, you know that it's like, oh, this may be really hard to make happen. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. It just may mean that you have to really get things in motion for there to be something to, for there way to be for there to be a segue for it to happen, utilizing your own inner magic, right? Because everybody has magical gifts. Everyone has intuitive gifts. So to get this pretty much started here, I really feel like this is about figuring out what it is that you want, figuring out what it is that you want to manifest. Period. Because the seven of cups for me is about picking up options. Waiting, dreaming, fantasizing. And for some of you guys, you already know what you want. You already know what you're going for. That's why the Two of Wands here is like, what direction are you going to take to make this happen? And I feel like for some of you guys exactly know what it is that you want. There's no, you're not confused. You're not, you're not feel led astray or anything. You guys know exactly what you want here. Okay. But some of you guys don't. Some of you guys are, still trying to figure that out. And that, while you're waiting for whatever you're trying to do, excuse me. Now, waiting for whatever is coming in, this is a good opportunity to figure out exactly that. What do you want to manifest? What is your dreams? What is your aspirations here? What's interesting is you have the moon in the past, so it definitely came from a time of trusting your intuition wholeheartedly, going through some darkness, right? Going through some fears, some things that were uncomfortable. And I think a lot of things have definitely gotten very confusing at this point. But now I think you're waiting on some things to kind of clear up, right? For some of you guys, this is about not necessarily surrendering to the connection, if that makes sense, but it feels like you guys are trying to wait out a situation, but have no, but I think what you're expecting maybe just be fantasy. I feel like that's maybe something that you guys may feel. There's a lot of patience that's coming up in this reading. Like I said before, temperance is one of the indications. And I feel like for something that I think you guys want something to happen or something to return to you that is a dream, that is just, something that would be nice to have, right? But still don't necessarily believe it's possible to actually carry out into the physical. But then you have the Knight of Swords is in your presence, right? That indicates to me that there is this go-getting energy. You're just going to go and, fight for it. Fight for what you believe in. Whatever this return is, whatever comes back to you, you're going to go ahead and fight for it. But there is this need for patience, and at the same time, being in the moment, expressing how you're feeling, connecting with your dreams. That's a good thing because it's going to help you manifest. But there's also still work that needs to be done, especially when it comes to what you want to do, especially with what you want to manifest, or what happiness do you want to have in your life. Now, for some of you guys, this pipe dream that you may believe is impossible to have, right, is a second chance at some sort of connection with someone that you already know. I think that you have a connection with somebody here, a significant individual, someone that has a strong bond between you and them. And I feel like that kind of connection is very hard to shake. And I think that's why you may be dreaming of a return for them. I think a lot of you guys are waiting for somebody to come back into your life so you can try again, so you can take a second chance, so you can be able to do things differently with the situation rather than, of course. But I feel like at the same time, though, what do you want to feel? Because what you want to feel will be different than what will come. It can be maybe different than what may come, but it will still get you what you want to, what you want to feel, right? If that makes sense. Like if you want to feel in love, you want to have a beautiful relationship with someone that you can connect with, you know what I mean? Then you may find that that person, there's a person that comes in that matches that exact same thing. But it's all about focusing on what you want to do with yourself and making sure that you feel that way for you anyway. Do you love yourself immensely? Do you take care of yourself? Do you do the things that you would love to do in a relationship? Because you don't need a relationship to have happiness. You don't need a relationship to do the things that you want to do or to be romantic. You could be romantic with yourself now. And that's why all this is happening, I feel like, because it's like, if you're trying to manifest a relationship, if you're trying to wait for somebody, if you're waiting patiently for this connection to be established, you're going to need to focus all this fantasy energy and take it on and put it upon yourself, right? If that makes sense. Be the dreamer, be the dreamy individual, be the person that you want to be in a relationship, because you're being in a relationship with yourself, loving yourself is what will attract you to, which will attract another person. Right. And I feel like the possibility of you connecting with somebody from the past, it could very well be possible, right? The temperance is divine timing, divine energy. It will wield its wand and wield its energy in which way it believes it's led to wield it. Just like as you are led to go into the path that you feel like you're led by, trusting your intuition, it will do it so with its own time. But you have to focus on you at this moment. Temperance is always like, okay, I got this side of the story here. Are you going to take care of your side of the story? Because it's like focusing so much on what the action is, right? On what the narrator's doing, but not focusing on the main character, which is you. You are the main character to your story. Make sure that that main character does the work necessary to get what it's trying to get to, or to obtain what it's trying to get to. And I feel like what you're fighting for is the lovers, is a connection, is a relationship, is a connection between you and a person, period. And I feel like you will interact with a soulmate. Some of you guys will. Some of you guys will find the love that has been dying, that you've been dying to feel, which has been in yourself this entire time. But ultimately, I feel like you're trying to find love. You're trying to find love. You're trying to find a way to get to that love, because you've just gotten through a place of feeling very vulnerable, and you may feel a lot of intense energies, and you had to overcome a lot of fears. And that is something that definitely is renowned and is very brave. But you have to love on yourself too. And I feel like the fantasy stuff, dreaming and waiting, I feel like in order for that to happen, for some of you guys, you have to take action upon this dream. I feel like also with temperance, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is all about waiting on a person. I think you guys are waiting on somebody when there's action that needs to be taken care of. I think there's some of you guys, maybe, right? Some of you guys, there is legitimately some information that you need to obtain before making action, before taking action. But your goal, aim, ambition is judgment, right? You want to return. You want a second chance. You want the phoenix to rise up from the ashes. But in order for that to happen, you have to make that happen. No waiting, because the Two of Wands is not about waiting. You're waiting for something. And the Two of Wands is about taking action and making a decision, going with it. What do you want to feel? What do you want to have? What is your dream? And then take action on that. Instead of waiting on somebody else, waiting on this person to return, take action on your dreams. Take action on connecting with yourself. Take action on living your life. Instead of letting it pass due to just waiting on someone. Make that new relationship come in. Make that opportunity in. Be with reason. Don't get crazy. Stop people. Hurt people. Kidnap. Don't do any of that stuff. I'm not condoning that mess. But I am condoning you just going along your life and living the way you feel you're led to live. So let's go ahead and see what y'all have for the Messenger Oracle. Because I think too, be careful with entitlement, guys. Because as much as we would love things, and as much as we feel like we have a certain role, we don't. There's no signed roles in our lifetimes, none. Maybe there's some within tribes, within groups that we've connected ourselves in, families, but they don't have to be who we are, and they don't have to always rule out. And if this is something that you want, you have to make that happen. You can't expect someone else to extend themselves if you're not going to extend yourself. Okay. Hey, it takes 2 cups, right? It takes 2 to tango, and in the 2 cups actually is a card of mirroring. So if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. You know what I'm saying? The other person won't do anything either. It's one of those those things. They're practically doppelgangers. You do nothing, they do nothing. But you have to take action in order for there to be something to come to fight for, in order for there to be something to work with. Goodness, I don't know why these cards are doing this. Please stop. There we go. Observe in silence is what you guys have here. Alright, so we're going to take a look at that affirmation there. But observe in silence is interesting because it's very similar to the 3 of Wands energy, which does talk about, taking your time to observe and to watch and to not be so hasty with action. Your time will come when there's action that needs to be taken. For those of you that just need to be patient, like I said, right? Like I said before, that message, this was one as far as taking action, that may not be for a lot of you. That may not resonate with a lot of you guys at all. Some of you guys, this is your situation where you have to wait on some sort of response in order for there to be some action taken, and you may have to just wait on this. Give to yourself, moderation in all things. Do you, handle you, be you, handle your responsibilities and commitments and all that, and just, live your life and, while you wait for this person to do what they, to communicate or whatever. You'll have plenty of time to act when the time comes. You don't have to rush it. Okay, so that's another one. But here you go. Observe in silence. Now is not the time to be the life of the party, nor to step forward into the role of a leader or a teacher. Be cautious. Be cautious. It may not be wise to draw attention to yourself or to reveal your plans to others. At this time, instead, be silent. Step back, be still, watch those around you, and be mindful of what you see, hear, or feel. Trust your intuition and instincts, and let them guide your steps. Okay, and it makes sense with the 3 of Wands and Temperance. Makes sense. Right now, if there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do. Ultimately, there's nothing you can do. That's it. But be aware of the situation. Don't turn your back to this, because the 7 of Cups has also got another meaning to it. It's not just picking your passions or picking your heart's desires or fantasizing and dreaming. It's also paying attention and looking past the glitz and glamour, looking beyond the surface, because this can be a very smoke and mirror kind of thing. And with the moon and the 7 of Cups, things can look nice, but it can be very deceptive because there could be something that's hiding beneath that surface. So keep watching, guys, as well. There may be there's a time to act when there's a time to act, but right now this is time to watch and to be very vigilant on that watching, because look at that, observer is right underneath there too. And it's a fox as well. It's funny. I wonder why they choose foxes for that. But But yeah, like be aware, be watchful eye on this, okay? Because you don't want to get, there's some things that are just not completely clear of what's going on yet. I think, like I said, you came from a place of some deep confusion. Right now, just be very mindful. Don't take such hasty acts, okay? Right now, for those of you that that resonated with that initial message. Wow. Okay. So maybe I'm not. Maybe there isn't any action that you need to do at all, from all angles, from every side of the story. You know, and I do feel like that you do make your opportunities, but there may need to be some time to kind of let things come and happen. Because right now, I mean, what I was perceiving is that there are some things that you need to do, right, with the Two of Wands. But actually, I'm taking it all back. I'm just gonna sit here and just own out to it. I'm gonna take it back. Don't do nothing. They have the Yin card here, observe in silence. You know what I'm saying? Just hold on a second, And I think you all are doing that now. You're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I think you guys are eager to get something done, though. The Knight of Swords, you're ready to fight for what it is. But wait for there to be that moment, that opening, the wait for the return. Wait for that moment. But be very mindful, be very aware as you're waiting. Because there's nothing like being blindsided when because you weren't paying attention. So pay attention right now. Be open to receptivity. You don't need to take action at this moment. Just observe. Because this is the time of review. Of course. Judgment isn't just a second chance or another opportunity at something, but this is also a time of review. And it's saying to watch, to observe, so you can take action when the time comes. So you can do what you feel you are led to do here. Okay? And if you can't do that, if you are doing stuff, so just disregard my last message here, because I'm feeling it now. Because I'm feeling like this is saying definitely just hold on, wait and watch, because it'll come. The time will come. There's no need to rush. But pay attention, because things are a little weird right now. Things are not really clear. Doesn't mean anybody's lying or doing something underhanded or being sneaky. It just means that you need to pay attention. Because there's something here that you may need to see, so that way you know exactly what you're going to be doing, who you're going to be cutting, who you're going to be attacking here. No kidding. But who you're going to be communicating with, what you're going to be fighting for. You're all very clear on that. Because you don't want to just jump in on the moment and have no information. So gather information right now so you can know exactly how to handle what's to come, guys.